Hello, YouTube. It's been a while, but we're back, sort of. Anyhow, just wanted to do a quick update to let you guys know I received my second Moderna shot for the COVID vaccination. You're supposed to get the Moderna, I think, 1 month apart. I got it like 1 month and 1 week apart, so it's still within the window. My first shot wasn't too bad. I didn't really notice too many symptoms other than, side effects, other than the little red welts, but that was underneath where they put the Band-Aid, but it didn't get some people call it like COVID arm, where you can get it across your whole arm, but I didn't get that. I only had it probably the size of a dime, where they cover your shot. So, other than that, I felt a little bit tired, but not too bad. Now, the follow-up shot, the nurse was warning me, they say typically people get more reaction to the second shot. If they had any reaction to the first shot, it might be a little bit more intense on the second shot. So, I'm kind of bracing for it, but, the initial shot, before I'd had the shot, I had all these apprehensions. People were saying that all sorts of bad, because that's what you see on the news and stuff. You see all the crazy reactions people have, like their whole arm being swollen up and stuff, but it really was not much more than like a mosquito sting, mosquito bite. That's what it felt like. Same with the second shot so far. Now, what I did, though, I read and I heard from people who had the shots, the Pfizer and the Moderna. They told me that the people who gave them the shot told to move their arms, like you would when you get the flu shot, to try to get the medicine, the vaccine, to spread quickly, instead of sitting in one spot in your arm. So I've been kind of moving my arm a little bit, flapping like a bird, and doing the old wax on, wax off routine with my arm, like the Karate Kid. Just try to get the blood circulating and get the vaccine spread out instead of concentrated in my arm, and we'll see what happens. I got the shot on a Friday so that I would have the rest of Friday and Saturday and Sunday to recover if I needed it. So hopefully nothing happens. I was supposed to do some physical work, but I'm debating if I'm going to do it or not. It just depends on how I feel. After you get the shot, they have you sit for about 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, just to watch you, to see if you have any reactions. And, now that the shot's been out for a while, they kind of know what the common reactions are. I got mine through the VA. So the VA, they had two choices. You can either get Johnson or you could get Moderna. The reason I didn't get Johnson & Johnson, even though the Johnson & Johnson, you only have to take one shot. Johnson & Johnson is like slightly less effective and may not protect as well against the D variant of the COVID. So I went ahead and, that's when I made the decision for the Moderna. What had it? It's like I was talking to my boss at work, and it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like he was saying, you got to pick your poison. So if you get it, you could have a reaction. You could have been fine, got it, and get a reaction. But if you don't get it, and you contract COVID, it may be worse. Well, not maybe worse. There are people still dying from it. And I've lost some family members from it. So it's not, it's just like, what do? You either take the chance and may get yourself sick and maybe even die from the shot, or you try not to catch COVID and hope that if you catch COVID, you're going to recover. I'll take my chance with getting the vaccination. You can still catch the D variant or other variants. Now, I was listening to some of the vets because I want to start a fight with a vet. especially one that looked like he might have been suffering from PTSD and other issues. So I didn't want to start a fight with him. He was talking about all the illegal immigrants bringing the new COVID. Believe that the COVID is being, the variant is being brought in by, I don't think they understand that variants develop, because they mutate. Each time people infected with the virus, there's a potential, whether it's COVID or any other virus, there's a potential for the virus to mutate. Because the virus, it goes into your genes, into your cells and stuff. Because the virus isn't a full-blown creature, it's like a partial creature. It goes into your system, and it meshes, it entwines with your cells and stuff, and forms a new creature that we know as the virus. Now, every time it does that with every new infection, there's an opportunity for the virus to change. It hits somebody and it meshes with their body, their genetic material, whatever, their DNA, and then it makes a new creature. And when it makes that new creature, oftentimes it becomes that virus, but sometimes it becomes a variant of that virus. So when you get the variant, it wasn't like magic. It was somebody who had the virus. And unlike the regular virus, it modified itself when it was in them. Now, I didn't want to explain that to that vet because he was already anti-everything. I'm like, dude, I came from overseas. But I've been here probably longer than you've been alive in the United States. I've probably been American longer than you've been alive. But I didn't want to get into that. And then right in front of me was this Mexican guy who was also, we're all vets. We're all military vets from the United States. Okay, we're all probably, I don't know about the Mexican dude, but more than likely already American, just like me. So, sitting here and he was blabbering all that all around all the people who were from another country, but when, he didn't even look at himself, he was from another country. I took a trip to St. Augustine the other day, and it was very interesting because St. Augustine has all these attractions, and one of the oldest they say the oldest attraction in America is the Fountain of Youth. So we went up to the Fountain of Youth, and I drank the water. Oh my God. If any of you have ever been to St. Augustine's Fountain of Youth, they call it an archaeological park. So it was designed to educate you about St. Augustine and about America, about Florida, Ponce de Leon, I think Mendoza, I guess, for the guy. But it was designed to teach you a little bit about Florida history and history of the United States. But I was surprised that the fountain, what they claim to be the fountain, there's no basis of fact other than, the owner of that area, that land there, claims that's the real fountain that what's his name? I forget his name already. Ponce de Leon was looking for. He was looking for a place called Bimini. Looks like we're having bad connection. Let me try to resume. The ancient Indians had a story, folklore, that there was a place, a mystical place. Ponce de Leon, who was out of Puerto Rico, decided to search for Bimini and the Fountain of Youth. So he ended up in Florida and landed around St. Augustine. Supposedly, the site that they have as the Fountain of Youth, they claim is a site that what's his name? Ponce de Leon landed. And, that's what they claim. So they had this little spring of water that came up out of the ground, and they had cups that you could get, paper cups, to drink from it. And I went to try it because I'm like, if you're at the Fountain of Youth, why not? Who wouldn't mind looking a little bit younger? Do I look any younger, guys? Any younger at all? So anyhow, decided to try that water. And I'm going to tell you, if you live in Florida or have been around Florida and you know what well water smells like, that's what the Fountain of Youth smelled like. It smells like well water. So, and then when you drink it, it tastes like well water. Yuck! It was so disgusting. I was like, you know what? I could go dig up well water. Yeah, I think it was well water. I know it wasn't tap water. If it was tap water, Dunkin', it tasted really strong, and it was not a pleasant taste. Talking about it, my mouth is already grossing out because it was so. Just in case it actually works. Kind of like taking the COVID vaccine, you know? It's like, well, what are you going to do? So anyhow, I went ahead and drank it. I don't know if I would recommend it to anyone other than, you know, if you want to drink it and risk staying young forever, you know, becoming youthful. But to me, it seemed like we were just drinking well water. Anyhow, I will keep you guys posted on the status of my second shot of the Moderna vaccine. We are now about 30 minutes, an hour into the shot. I don't really notice anything. I did, you know, move my arm a lot more than I did the first time because of people telling me that it helps circulate instead of sitting there in one spot, you know. So it'll spread it out faster, so it's not just sitting there collecting in the spot on your arm. So I'm hoping to do that, and I'm actually planning, even though some people say you should rest, I'm planning on working. I'm planning on doing some physical work today to try to keep my arm moving, and if I start to feel tired and stuff, I'll take a rest, and I'll try to do the follow-up, you know, within this next week, just to let you know what happens if I got any worse flow, you know, on the comments and stuff. I appreciate it because it kind of lets people see, you know, comments of the viewers here, what happened to our viewers versus what you see on the media. That way, I think the people here tend not to lie. You know, there's no real reason. Whereas with the media, sometimes they do have an agenda, you know. I was in public affairs, so I kind of know how that works. So, you know, I tend to trust people that I know personally or people on this channel who are posting their experiences. Share your experiences, whether you had, you know, the Moderna or the Pfizer or the Johnson & Johnson or any others. Now, my personal experience, you know, with the other vaccines, there was a vaccine that they used overseas called, I think it's AstraZeneca. I don't know what it is. It's the other one. It's the AZ one. But anyhow, that one supposedly has serious side effects. It was causing people to have blood clots. Also, Johnson & Johnson may cause blood clots. So if you haven't taken it yet and you want to research, Google the different ones that are available. Johnson & Johnson, even though it's one shot, supposedly causes some, I don't know if it's blood clot, but it causes their heart to beat crazy. And now that they know of it, they can counter it. So if you get the Johnson & Johnson when they watch you, you know, or if you feel after you leave there that you're having issues, they have medication that can counter the side effects. Whereas before, people were literally just dying because they didn't know what to do. They didn't know that was a side effect and how to handle it. But they know it's a side effect now, and they know how to resolve it. So you just want one shot. But like I said, Johnson & Johnson supposedly is not as effective. You know, it's not as good as Pfizer's or Moderna. So, and if you're overseas, the other one, I don't even know, because that's the one overseas where, I do some model photography, so I kind of follow the international models, you know, the ones that travel and do shoots and things like that. And there was a girl who's only like 24 years old that got the shot because she's a model, she travels. But after taking the shot, It was not the ones in America. It was not Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson and Johnson, but it was one overseas in Europe. And she got it and died in 2 weeks. You know, she got it and started to not feel well, and ended up dying. I think it was a hemorrhage in her brain or something. So, I don't know what to say other than, you know, like my boss was telling you, you got to pick your poison. Hey, I will keep you guys informed. I hope you're all staying safe. I hope everyone is taking precautions. I'm wearing masks when I'm around a lot of people, whether or not, you know, vaccinated or whatever. I don't care. I'm putting the mask on just in case I'm spreading it. I think a lot of people think the mask protects you. It might to an extent, but I think it protects others more than it does you. You know, when I talk, I spit. When I cough, I cough up crap. But by putting the mask on, when I cough or spit, it kind of puts it back into my face. Some of it might get out, but, you know, a lot of it blows right back into my face. And I'm not worried about giving myself something